What's good, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm back at it again, back streaming again, which is great because I have had some internet issues since we moved, and it is so good to be back up and running again because sometimes these technical issues hit you and you don't know if the internet's going to work well. You don't know what's going to happen with, you know, having the proper speed and doing all kinds of other stuff with the internet access. So moving to a new place means finding out which internet works the best, especially when you can't move your service from one state to another because you move internationally. So that was why we had a little bit of a hiccup there in time between streams and stuff. But I appreciate everyone, having some patience with me as we start to build this new life in a new place and get things put together. As you can see behind me, the walls are still bare. I've put the art up, my World War One posters and stuff, in different parts of the house, and now I'm thinking about putting some shelving up there so we can display some more stuff. But thank you again to everyone who's been so patient with me as we've made this transition into a new place and into a new world, really. And with me starting my PhD stuff, I've been really busy with things, just getting it all in place. So thank you for your patience. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully the next time we do some of these Coffee with the Tattooed Historian and other things, we'll have more stuff up in the background. It just won't be a white wall back there. So we'll see. But I wanted to do one as soon as I had a proper internet connection because I want to get back on here and get back into the rhythm of doing live events. And I know that I have a couple things I'm going to announce later that involve live streaming or video production, podcasting as well. We're going to get all that back up and running. Probably early October is when that's going to all happen. We're only about 10 days away from October, and I think that's a good mark to have that available for October for podcasts and videos and such. So we'll see how that goes. As I spill coffee on myself. I need coffee to drink coffee. But yeah, we'll see how everything goes with that. The move was exciting to say the least. We loaded the U-Haul truck in 97-degree Fahrenheit weather by ourselves, so just two of us, and we unloaded, and it was 20 degrees Fahrenheit cooler. So that made a big difference, and we had someone come help. Thank you, big shout out to Rob McGuire, my friend, for coming and helping us out with that. So good times, trying to get settled and getting some of the logistical things done, the administrative work done. So that's where we're settled right now. We are very happy with our accommodations. We got an extra bedroom now, so my wife has her own office, which is fantastic, and we have more room. We realized we don't have much furniture when we moved in here because we have a lot of open space. So thank you to everyone from all over the place for hanging out with us over the months and years. Jaunty Crow's in the chat from the office next door. So we have some peeps in the chat here. Barbara, nice to see you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience as we get all this underway. The Jaunty Cat does love the open space. She really does. She's been running around. She's been very happy with all the space in this place. That's been an awesome thing, is to have even more space to figure out what we want to do. We might actually get a dining room table for the first time. Who knows? We do bar seating now, and that's nice. But yeah, getting this internet up and running has been the major hiccup. We were on Baron. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. We were on one service provider, and I realized that I signed up for a certain speed and they couldn't guarantee that speed. And so I'm dropping them and going with another provider. And it is believe it or not, it is going to be 20. This service right now is 20 times faster than the service I had signed up for. So we're going to have really good streams, hopefully. Hopefully. David, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Great to see you back on the air. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's good to be back. I love doing live stuff and I love hanging out with all of you in chat and just conversing about what we're working on, upcoming things, life in general. It really does mean a lot to me. It's where I get the most uh, adrenaline from. You go. Some people just love doing videos, and I enjoy that too. Some people just love doing podcasts. I enjoy that, but my bread and butter is doing live. I've always loved doing live since what 2018. I've been doing lives, so it's been like 5 years, and it's just what I love doing. I love the live chats, and that's why I do it. Things on here. We're going to go back and we're going to start doing some gaming on Twitch soon. I'm actually considering doing some Twitch stuff with other students from the university. So it should be a lot of fun. There's a lot of collaboration coming down the road. We have a podcast learning network that my friend Allison Innes at the university has developed, and that's her bread and butter. And I'm going to be sitting on a panel with her later this week about podcasting. So should be a great time. Kojak, how are you, my friend? Nice to see you in chat. Great to see you here. Gettysburg tomorrow. Nice, nice. Hope the weather holds out well for all of you. We are looking up here in beautiful Ontario. We are looking at highs of 50s in the mid 50s Fahrenheit next week. So it's going to get chilly. It's going to be cardigan weather, and perfect though for getting into that fall mood, right? But yeah, there's a lot of things happening up here behind the scenes that I've been working on since we moved, and it's just been trying to get this internet up and running has been the major thing, and I'm so happy to have it because now we can start creating again. Now we can get back to a sense of normalcy. At least for me, this is going to be a sense of normalcy. We're going to be able to do lives. We're going to be able to create videos, podcasts. I have people who want to help from the university to make content, edit content. I have people who've actually already asked to run the camera while we discuss a historical site. So it's been amazing to have that kind of outreach. It is the perfect weather for strolling around historical sites. It absolutely is, and there's plenty of them around here that I have yet to visit and to create content for. Now I feel better about doing so. Like I said, you got to get that kind of foundational thing going where do I have good internet speed? Is the PC working properly? Okay, now we can go and we can move forward. So that's what's going to be happening soon. Jaunty and I need to record a podcast to start out the new season, if you will, of the podcasting world for the Tattooed Historian Show. We need to talk about our move. We need to talk about the humanities up here and a couple other things. And then I'm going to be interviewing my friend Allison from the Podcast Learning Network about podcasting. She's in my program. She's a colleague of mine. And we're going to talk about podcasting in general from the historical standpoint. She's been running 2 podcasts over the last 6 years, 7 years. And so she's got a lot of input. And we're going to be talking about podcasting for the humanities. I also have a couple other people coming on to talk about their books. So we're going to get back into books from UNC Press and others. Hopefully we can get some from Penguin Random House Canada again, and so much more to happen with that. But it's great to be a part of a university, a department in a university who truly believes in what I've been doing for several years and wants to help me propel it forward and make new stuff and create new things and new experiences for you and for me. So, Gabriel, welcome in. How are things in sunny California? Hope everything is doing well with you. Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate it. Hope everyone has their coffee or tea in their hands, if not something stronger, or maybe a glass of milk, whatever your heart's desire. I just have my regular old coffee, and I'm ready to talk about things that are upcoming. There's a lot that I need to go over in the next 30 to 40 minutes. And don't forget that at the end of the stream today, as we do in every stream, if you're working on a project, I want you to be able to give that a shout out. So stick around for that. It's a great way for us to network, collaborate, get to know each other and certain things. Also in chat, let me know where everyone's from. I would greatly appreciate that. But we do have, I do have an author interview coming up in early October that I'm really looking forward to. In fact, I forgot to grab the book. It's back here. Still moving things around, and you get things put to the side and such. But this is from UNC Press. They found me in Canada, and they knew where I was going, and they found me, and they sent it through customs for me, which is great. Earning Their Wings: The Wasps of World War II and the Fight for Veteran Recognition by Sarah Perry Myers. I've been in touch with Sarah, and I'm going to have Sarah on for an interview in video form early next month. And then that will also be a podcast. So you remember how I've done those author interviews before, where we'll post a video, and then members of my subscribers of my channel here get 24-hour early access. And then it's released to everybody. So Sarah is going to come on and talk, and that video will be coming out early next month. And the podcast will be dropped as well. She's coming on to speak with me on October 5th. So look for that in the early part of the month. And I have others who are reaching out. I also have colleagues at the university who want to come on and talk about stuff. So there's going to be a ton of things that are happening here. And I'm really, really excited for that. Baron asked a question here. What mug are you using this morning? This is just my old Star Wars mug. This is a color changing mug with my Lord and Savior Darth Vader on it, and then it changes with heat in it to showcase the lightsabers. So once it cools down, this starts to cool down, then the lightsabers go away and the backgrounds go away. So it's a color changing mug. I think I found it. Did I find this at Goodwill, or was I gifted this? I've got so many mugs. I don't know where they came from. But yeah, this is one of my favorite mugs that I use here on a lot of my lives. I need to dig through some of my other mugs. Jaunty tells me I have too many mugs, but you know, you can never have too many mugs. So I got to collect something. I guess that's what I collect. Anyway, I'm looking forward to talking to Sarah about these amazing women who are flying these aircraft in the Second World War to deliver them to sites, and to hear the story about them trying to get veteran status. I remember when that was a big thing 10, 15 years ago, when the fight was just starting to try to get them veteran status. And we'll learn more about that moving forward early next month. So really, really looking forward to that. So several podcasts are in the works. I'm working with the Podcast Learning Network to try to put that on the map for my friend Allison. And there's a few other things that I need to work on yet. I have probably mapped out several dozen museums and historical sites that I need to go to and to collaborate with and make connections with. I also have a museum that I'm going to be introduced to through a colleague. One of my advisors actually is going to introduce me to this museum, which could help out greatly with future stuff. We're talking about bringing back live events, of course, in-person events, and those events will obviously be here in Ontario. And there's just so much more. I want to give a shout out though to my friend Ryan Goldsworthy at the Royal Canadian Military Institute. You may have seen the photos that I posted of that on my Facebook and Instagram and a few other sites. That was an amazing experience. We went to hear Ryan talk about the 100 Days Offensive in 1918. He gave about a 40-minute talk, and he had some of the original artifacts from Canadians who served in the 100 Days out on a table from their collection. And you could really get a sense of how much stuff they had and the variety of things they have in their collection at the RCMI. And it was just a great thing. He's getting married next month. So congrats to him. But after that, we're going to get together and I'm going to try to utilize some of the archives at the RCMI. And maybe we can also collaborate on some outreach for them so more people can learn about the RCMI, their holdings, their events, and things like that. So that's one of my main things in with this project for years has been collaboration to bring about awareness of what is actually out there. Accessibility, allowing you to see things from behind the scenes or a new exhibit, a new display. That's what it's always been about, and I think that's going to be a key factor with me going forward because I have so many people up here in my new home who say we want to collaborate. We're not trying to be competition, and that's a new thing for me, and I love that because I've always been about collaboration. I don't feel like I'm in competition with anybody. I never have. I never will because I think that sense of manufactured competition really drives people away from doing what they love to do. And it soured me in some ways to some things where I just didn't want to work with certain people because they made it into a competition. And I don't like that. I like to collaborate. I like to have fun. I like to promote other people's works. As you see, I'm always putting other people on here and having a good time with them. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting endeavor being around so many new people who have that same mentality of collaboration, not competition. But that's going to be great for me, but that's also going to be great for them. And it's going to be great for you because it's going to allow me to do so much more with this channel, with this project, all kinds of stuff. I'm really, really excited about that. Baron has a great question in chat, and I want to bring it up here on the big screen. How do you balance class work and podcast videos? That's a great question because it's a really, I don't mean this way, but it's a really personal question in that it depends on the person, right? Work life balance is a personal thing for each individual. Everyone has a different work life balance. That's the way it is. For me, I am taking 2 classes my first term. I'm also teaching 2 sections of classes. So I have 4 classes, basically 2 that I'm teaching and or leading a seminar, and 2 that I'm taking. However, the beauty of my schedule is that my classes that I take are Monday, Tuesday. I teach both sections of the other class on Fridays, so I have Wednesday, Thursday off, technically. Now, the other part of that is I'm getting involved in a research project. So that research project is going to take some time. That's an extra 10 to 15 hours a week. So I think the key is to understand that you shouldn't overwhelm yourself with things. Um, I grew up in a way that promoted hustle and hustle culture to survive, and you had to, and that was just the way it was. I think now it's kind of strange being able to take that kind of weekend off mentality because I haven't had a real weekend off. I mean, truly off in a very long time. So I think it's creating, Baron, to get around to your question, I think it's creating those kinds of hard stops where you're like, okay, I'm working today from this time to this time on this, and then I'm stopping. I have to stop. And I have to create that barrier between myself and work or between myself and my project, whatever that may be, whether it's content creation or playing a intramural or extramural sport, whatever it may be, being in a club. It's very important to find that rest. If you're just starting out with something, then you are going to have to push a little bit. As you know, it's part of building that foundation of something. I had a lot of 14-hour days, and that was just the way it was. I worked an 8-hour day, and then I did 6 hours afterward on my thing, or I did an 8-hour day and I did 4 hours afterward on my thing, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. That was a foundational thing. But I think we have to remember that life ebbs and flows. We go through these periods where it's like, okay, I don't have to hustle as much. Not because I have a lot of money, but because I have more time to do some other things and I have the ability to do certain things. So really this work-life balance thing is different for you than it is for me, and everyone else in this chat. Everyone else has a different work life balance. And I think that's a beautiful thing. It's a fingerprint of life, if you will. But striking that balance is your personal quest. And I think the key is don't be too hard on yourself. Um, you know, if you can't get it done today and it's not a hard deadline for tomorrow, you can't get it done today. Work on it tomorrow. I think we really compare ourselves too much to other people. That's what creates that manufactured competition I was just talking about earlier. We compare ourselves too much. We say, well, they're working harder on this and they're creating this many podcasts and they're creating this many videos. So what? Are you happy? That's the key. Um, I used to be like that. I used to fall into that trap. I see someone like Steve Fan, my good friend, create these amazing videos for the National Park Service site in Defense of Washington, or where he is now in Camp Nelson. And I used to think early on, wow, I need to keep up with him, like not keep up with his content, but making content as quickly as he does. And then I realized that was just a trap for myself that I created. Um, if I can't do it, I can't do it. I have to do it a certain other way. I think authenticity comes into play a lot when we're talking about work-life balance. Uh, you do you, and that's the main thing. And if you're happy, then great. If you're not, if you think you can do more, then try a little bit more. But never stop thinking about your own well-being, your own mental health, because that is a huge key. Speaking of that, I'm going to keep all of you posted because on February 8th, I'm going to be speaking online for the Cumberland County Historical Society. And the title of my um, talk is Historians' Well-Being, Preserving the Past While Nurturing the Self. So barrenness fits in kind of with what we were just talking about, where we're going to be talking about mental health in the history field and the humanities field. Little things that pop up that we need to take seriously. We need the accountability, and we also need to be accountable to ourselves. And I'm going to be discussing that on February 8th. I know it's a long way off, but think about that. Right now, the tentative time is 6 p.m. It will be available online. I will keep posting about that on my my internet's acting up. I will keep posting on that on my Facebook site. So please keep that in mind. Wonder why the old internet's working up. It's weird. We'll run through it. Wow, that internet is working overtime, isn't it? Let's see here. See if I can get that back to a sense of normalcy. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm drawing too much Wi-Fi from something else. That's crazy. It's the Canadian internet. Thank you, Baron. David has a great line here. Once you dive into that rabbit hole competition, it can swallow you up. That's exactly right. I can't say it any better than that. It is crazy. I don't know why. Let's see here. I got to turn some Wi-Fi off my phone, maybe. But there are times where the internet whacked up a little bit. So he's got to push through it. Hopefully it gets better. But thank you all again for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with me so far. Sorry about the internet issues. I don't know why we're having this much of an issue. It shouldn't be like that, but you never know with technology, right? Certain things happen and it throws it all off. But anyway, we'll get back to what we were discussing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that talk with the Cumberland County Historical Society, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, that is a few people from local schools and universities are going to be involved in that with putting that out to their students. So I'm really, really excited about that. I'm watching the feedback over here on my other screen, and it is not good. The internet is just really unstable right now, and I don't know why that is. I apologize to everyone. We were doing so well, but now the internet is being unstable. Sometimes that happens. especially when you're doing live stuff. Somebody could be pulling from something in a different building. So many people are doing remote work now, so there's extra stress on internet connections. But the video quality is not as nice as I would like it to be. I wish it was better for right now, but I don't understand why that's doing that. If everyone could help me out in chat, I would love to hear what you're working on right now, just in case we get cut off from the internet access here. It looks like it's getting a little bit stronger, but I would love to hear. There we go. Now we're back to a sense of normalcy. Look at that. See? I would love to hear what projects you're working on. Gabriel, thank you for letting me know that the audio's coming through just fine. There's these little stops where I'm like trying to figure things out, so I apologize for that. As South Park would say, blame Canada. Thank you, Baron. Yes. So we're back to a sense of normalcy here. And see, that's the weird part about some of this new internet service providers. Sometimes you get these little, like, I don't know, there's like ridges of accessibility to the internet, and it's like, okay, for the next 30 seconds, we're going to slow things down. And as a creator, you're like, wait, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Anyway, if you're working on a project of any kind that is historically based, or a blog or anything like that, I would love to hear about it in the chat. We want to be able to promote your work as well. Again, this isn't a competition. We're helping each other out and bringing stuff out into the forefront. So I would love to hear about that. If you work for a museum, if you follow a museum that you're really interested in, excuse me, I would love to hear about that. Please put that into the comments. I'm really happy to be able to be back on, even though we had that slight technical hiccup, but hey, that's part of the process. I'm really excited to have some of my friends on to discuss their work, some of my colleagues. Looking forward to having Sarah Myers on to talk about her new book from UNC Press. And remember, if you go to the UNC Press website to order a book, you have a discount code to get 40% off of your book. Just use the code 01DAH40 at checkout, and that is your code for that. In fact, I will make a banner with that in it. How about that? And then we'll have it, because there's a lot of reading out there to be done. And I know that some of you really follow UNC Press. They've been a great help to me. Sorry, my shirt is blending in with the banner. UNC Press book code is 01DAH40. That gets you 40% off of your books at the UNC Press website. So you go there, check out their latest books. You will be able to get 40% off. I know that's huge right now, especially with everyone feeling the stress of inflation and other things. So get that 40% off and enjoy the latest works there. Thank you again to UNC Press for constantly being a friend and an ally and a collaborator with me. It's a great feeling to have you along for the ride. And thank you for giving every one of my followers a nice discount code. 40% is huge. So please use that code. Baron's coming in with a new comment. Working on my capstone, writing about the Battle of Peleliu and why it was so bad for the 1st Marine Division. That sounds really interesting, my friend. That sounds really interesting. Anybody else working on anything? Would love to hear about it. Thank you again to everyone for joining me. I really appreciate that. One of these days here, one of these evenings, maybe I'm going to try a Twitch stream to see how the internet works with that and kind of get a lay of the land, get a feel for where we're at as far as the internet is concerned. Gabriel coming in here. I just started my 2nd year of grad school in public history, so my life is consumed with schoolwork and an internship at our local public library special collections archive. I love seeing those special collections archives. Those are awesome. What's a favorite piece of yours from the special collections, Gabriel? Find anything that's like, wow, I didn't know this was here, or something that piques your interest from the part of history you enjoy? I always found that fascinating where you would go somewhere and you'd be like, I had no idea this was being housed here. And it fits into whatever you're really into, whether it's a certain conflict, whether it's a certain social movement. It's just really fascinating to see what is out there that you don't normally get to see. That's right on the shelf at a library. You get to see the special collections, and that is just awesome. That archival work is second to none, and I really think a lot of people should go through that and work with that to try to understand what that is like working behind the scenes at an archive or at a library. I also think that would help people to treat archivists with more respect in some ways. We write books and journals and articles for magazines and blog posts, and far too often we forget the people who introduced us to some of that information, and that's the archivist. Gabriel, see, here we go. My boss has shown me the first known map of Sacramento created by an army officer in the 1850s. That's fantastic. That's awesome. See, that's the stuff I'm talking about. I love the fact that there's that uh, mentorship and also that collaboration to say, "Oh, you want to see something cool? Check this out," and not keeping it so close to the chest. That's definitely an archivist thing. Is wanting to spread that knowledge around, and that's why I loved my time as an archivist with alongside my peers back with the Army Corps of Engineers, and doing that contractual work was just amazing. Uh, I loved finding all that stuff, and that's how this started. In fact, we just went past the anniversary of this project last Saturday, the 16th, was 8 years since I started the Tattooed Historian project. 8 years, which is just nuts. We're gonna have to have a 10-year anniversary party or something. I don't want anything. I just want people to show up and have fun. And we should live stream it to anyone who can't be there. But that'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, 8 years, 8 years trying to get as much information about the historical narrative out there as I can, and having a lot of people come along and be a part of it. It's just been fascinating. It's been fantastic. There's been highs, there's been lows. You learn a lot about business. You learn a lot about collaboration. You learn a lot about people's motives behind certain things. And I find that to be just fascinating. You really understand the different kinds of historians who are out there, the different kinds of people who are out there. You learn how to work with different kinds of people. You learn how to have some patience and and keep pushing. It goes back to Baron's uh, question about balancing all this different work. I think right now, I think I'm on 10 different platforms now, somewhere around there. So I have to get my messaging right for each platform when I do put a post out. I don't post as much as I would like to, but I have life involved with some other things. And certain things come first, and that's the key, is knowing that pecking order, if you will. If you need to go down the list, you need to say, well, this is what's most important right now. We're going to do this, and just go down the list and understand that you have different responsibilities for things. I think that's what's mostly important right now. My responsibilities lie in, my doctoral training and my digital humanities training, and all the teaching and research assistantships that I have lined up. That's what's mainly important right now. And then this comes right after that, and then on weekends it's time off. And then Monday through Friday you do it all over again. So I'm kind of treating it as I have two part-time jobs, or one full-time and one part-time job, just to keep that balance going. Baron, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I am so impressed with how many people have come along for the ride and have, you know, enjoyed so much of it and taken things out of it. And for the positive, it's definitely been worth all the 8 years of trial and error and all, and there's been errors and there's been, all kinds of stuff. It's not all, you know, stuff going on here. So it's been wild. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. We're having a little bit of a video issue again with the internet, so I do apologize. But yeah, it's been fantastic. What I really had you continue something positive out of this, and that we continue to work together to create a positive atmosphere. That's what's important right now. It's this day and age. So let's keep that going. Yes, the internet strike. They don't want us Americans to be here doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, no, I've never met a more welcoming than I have here. It's fantastic. Here, Nick. I don't know about that, Jaunty. I'm not sure. Thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe too many things. Internet. I don't know. The problem with my location is that the only access to the internet is through the downstairs and then the Wi-Fi pod here. So I'm working off Wi-Fi, and that's the problem. Hopefully, maybe in the future we can get that fixed a little bit more. Anyway, it's just these minor hiccups from time to time that really stinks. Maybe I can get the internet service provider to come out and hook up another one of these lines and hard line in. Better talk about Canadian history and it'll start working properly. It probably would. It probably would. If I know Frederick Banting or, something like that, it'll probably just kick right back in and be like, oh, okay. Now I'm talking about that. You're probably right. But I have a lot of that to do too. There's a lot of Canadian history that I feel is not been put out there to the masses as much as should, especially to a more American audience. And I think that's going to be one of my keys moving forward, is introducing a new audience to some of the history that's around here and that is going on in different parts of this country. So we'll see how that goes. But I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me a little bit this evening, this afternoon. Yeah, this morning. I need more coffee. This morning with this. I will try by next time to get this internet worked on, see if I can get a new thing hooked up with the internet to get you a better connection, because I don't think we can keep going at this rate with it not being hard lined into the PC. That's exactly what I need. I know that that's the issue. So hopefully we can get a hard line in instead of working off of a Wi-Fi pod. That would be fantastic. And I will work on that for the next time we are together. Just make a couple calls and we'll get it back up and running. See, it comes back. It's like it just ebbs and flows, just like life, and it's crazy what technology will do to you. Sometimes you're like flowing along, going nice and smooth, and then they throw the curveball at you. So that's okay. But I want to wish all of you a happy rest of your week. We are, halfway through the week already. And so it's great to be back on here, even if it is a little bit garbled from time to time. It's just being able to speak with you and to give shout outs to people, let you know what's happening here, let you know what's happening in the future with this project. It's just a huge benefit. And I hope that we can work together to collaborate and bring more stuff to the masses. I hope you get something positive out of it, something constructive out of what we do here. I know that the quantity of stuff has gone down since my major move, but when you move to a different country, there's a lot of behind the scenes administrative work that needs done and logistical work, but we are getting settled in and we're going to get back up to a sense of normalcy here. And I'm really excited about that. But again, I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your week. Please make sure that you're following me on the socials to know when these events are coming up. Please give me a follow here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. And you will know when new videos come up, when we're having some guests on. I have a community tab where I post for the community. Most of that is for my people who join as members, but I do the subscribers as well, as far as you get open access to some things. So I really appreciate each and every one of you who has slapped that subscribe button or hit that join button. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much for that. You're helping me grow this project and bring you new things. And that means a lot. That's why we started this in the first place. Uh, David, thank you so much. Great seeing you. Thank you for being in the chat. Appreciate you being here. Baron, appreciate you being here, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And, keep me in mind if you ever need to talk about that balance. If you're ever um, having issues with that, I'm always willing to listen and to try to help as much as I can, because I'm not here just for me. It's not about me. It's about the field and those within it and helping people out. So thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for hanging out for a little bit this morning. I'm going to go see if I can fix any of the internet issues that I have going on. Although they're minor, they do impede some of the stuff. So I want to make sure we're good to go with that. But I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Please be safe out there. Keep reading. I will chat with all of you very, very soon.